So, I'm pretty sure many of you probably won this bet that I was going to do Cancer Ascendant for 2026 predictions. So, let's get started. And remember, if you really want to know the real essence of transit, because every planet will be somehow connected with another planet, one way or the other. Okay, so this is just a basic foundation of what I'm going to talk about. The more precise one, you can get it from Cares Astrology at shop section. And of course, my marriage course is also active now, where I'm uploading videos slowly, where you'll know so many things. Do you guys know? You will learn about simple trick with Karna from Panchang. You'll learn about marriage from Karna. We'll get into all of this. Okay. So anyway, so for Cancer Ascendant people, the number one thing you see right now is Jupiter is in the sign of Gemini, retrograde in Punarvasu Nakshatra till March 11th. After that, it's going to go direct till June 1st week. Then it enters Cancer. Okay. So here, naturally for Cancer Ascendant people, there's going to be repeated expenses, investments, donations that take place. While Jupiter is in Punarvasu, it is very important actually. Now you can take this as a prediction or you may take this as a solution and remedy. Is that if you do not want to deal with unexpected expenses, you're like sitting doing your work and suddenly your spouse texts you, hey, our oven is not working. And now either you have to get it repaired. If it's not repaired, now you have to replace it. So if you don't want to deal with unexpected expenses, little by little, okay, you donate money. Now, which day do you donate money? That we have to see which planet Jupiter might be impacting in your particular chart. Which planet actually becomes more fruitful to donate. But regardless, with Jupiter being in the 12th house, the simplest thing is donate to some ashram, some monastery, some religious or spiritual group. So making little by little. Now I'm not telling you, okay, to make $400 or $500 donations every week. I'm saying give $20. I talk in dollars because I'm talking in United States. Whether it's rupees, pounds, Deutschmark, okay, yen, you do that. Because this is going to keep those unnecessary expenses away, because Jupiter is here saying, look, I'm here in a cycle of repetition with Punarvasu. While on top of that, I'm retrograde. So I'm going to repeat this. So if you do not want to see those repetitions, you do repeated things yourself. Okay. For example, instead of even like just donating, if let's say you're in a stable career, middle-aged, make small little investments. Every Friday, put your money in the market. Whether you do mutual funds, ETFs, stocks, whatever it is that you do. So the expense is going out because it is going to go up. And if you measure your bank statements, because everybody's going to say, well, of course, everybody has expenses every day. Compare your bank statements from last year to between now and June of next year. And of course, now with AI softwares and all that, they can clearly tell you, it'll give you this like green or blue line showing that this much expense is up here and last year was probably here. Okay, but this is fine. It's okay. It can even be this much, but you don't want it unexpected. When it's unexpected, it feels like, oh my God, I have to take things out. The other thing that also happens with this Jupiter, okay, naturally, either communication issues take place. Okay, and those communication issues will be regarding either knowledge, education, with your teachers, father, mentors. or anything. When you deal with that, there'll be miscommunications or issues with communications that take place. But especially what happens here is this. This is where you have to understand. With Jupiter being in Punarvasu Nakshatra, the investments you make, because remember, what is Punarvasu Aditi, which is another form of Lakshmi. And what does Lakshmi like? Lakshmi doesn't like to stay. Lakshmi likes to travel, move, revolve. Lakshmi likes to revolve the money back into society. Why do you think Venus is exalted in the 12th house? Because right now, if you look at it, Jupiter is in the essence of an exalted Venus planet. There are many ways you can interpret Venus in the 12th house exalted. It's at the feet of Vishnu. So Lakshmi is always going to be at the feet of Vishnu. It wants to be devoted to God. It wants to be devoted to oneness. Venus is actually not even about marriage and relationship. Venus is about devotion to that ultimate thing. On the other hand, okay, 12th house being the exalted house of Venus, Venus being part of Lakshmi, 12th house being the house of investments, it says, listen, instead of accumulating and just storing, which now is useless because every day your money loses money. It loses its value. It says, revolve it around, have it grow. So such placement is an excellent period, whether it's retrograde, whether it's direct, to actually invest that money back, donate that money. You earned great enough, right? Now help out somebody who may not be even in your own privileged position. Because remember, if you think, well, I am barely living paycheck to paycheck. Well, somebody doesn't even live paycheck to paycheck every 6 months. You're living paycheck to paycheck every week. So compared to the rest of the world, your echelon is much higher. Okay, stop comparing yourself to people online. So this is one of the most important things you need to do. You need to look into, I don't care even if you're a 25-year-old making hourly wages. Nowadays, with all kinds of apps and Robinhood and all that, you can buy a fraction of a stock. So instead of like just holding your money and then suddenly losing it, here, $5. Instead of having your Starbucks coffee, I'm going to put $5 in this particular stock or ETF. This is where Jupiter saves. The other thing, Jupiter will, and actually this is where Jupiter, and this is something you can look at as a prediction, you will spend money on knowledge, on books, on information. And when you do it repeatedly. You will do it again and again, especially till March. But even in March, it continues, but that intensity lowers down. Because Punarvasu is about that repeated cycle. Okay? But while it's retrograde, it definitely, and this is that one placement of Jupiter retrograde. This is the most beneficial placement. Because of the nakshatra Punarvasu. The other thing, you become a savior within your own household, especially let's say you are a family person. Okay, you have children, you have got the spouse and all that. You become the savior related to the expenses of the house. You will notice, like either you somehow help decrease the expenses, or when expenses arises, you're there to take care of it. You are playing the role of Ram, the savior. And Jupiter here, especially because it's in the 12th house, you will see many people, you may not be able to purchase a property or getting a car. Not unless there's some connection with Mercury or Venus. But you will see such people they want to create something new in the home, or you guys will talk about, how about we expand this area? Oh, look at the property prices here. I wonder if we should get the property here. There'll be talks. Because if I was to say, Jupiter is going to bring property in all the Cancer Ascendant chart, then that's it. No more looking at anybody else's chart. Okay, just this video is 100% guaranteed for everybody, but it's not the case. But what I'm telling you here is every single person is going to desire to create something for the home or related to the home. Now, why create? Because fifth aspect of Jupiter is the fifth aspect of children, and you create children. That means the fifth aspect is asking you that, you know what, you're going to be creating something within the home, related to the home, for the home, maybe for the vehicle. Maybe somebody will get new suspensions for their vehicles, new tires for their vehicles. Something that you're going to want to create and make it into something new. While then Jupiter is giving blessings. Now, this is not the creation. Jupiter is going to be giving blessings to the 8th house, which is the 9th house will always be ancestral blessing. Neither Jupiter is in control of it, neither you. Jupiter is saying this is what your ancestors are now giving in this particular year. So 8th house represents the blessings of rejuvenation, transformation, your ability to somehow transform something in your life, your ability to deal and gain something through maybe even unearned wealth. There will be definitely natural talks connected with either inheritance. You might get some new insurance. A lot of people with Jupiter being in the 12th will somehow find blessings towards understanding and wanting to actually pursue and learn things like astrology or anything in metaphysics, occult. People who are in non-occultic places will somehow find some blessings toward discovering something in their work, research in their work. There will be repeated invitation perhaps by the in-laws, meeting in-laws or the spouse's family more than once. Okay, then Jupiter enters the ascendant. From June all the way till November, then it goes to Leo, then goes back into Cancer. So here Jupiter being in the ascendant, you become the beacon of hope and light for everybody within your life circle. Like, even if your spouse has never asked you for suggestion, they will ask you for suggestion. Jupiter coming in the ascendant, naturally you will see Jupiter will bring fulfillment to your face and your body. Okay, because while Jupiter is in Gemini and Rahu is in the 8th house in Aquarius, this is another reason actually I forgot to mention. That double transit of Jupiter is happening upon the 8th house with Rahu. Okay? This definitely shows the manifestation yoga. So it's a temporary yoga, but it's a yoga of manifestation. And the way this manifestation works is at first you feel like there's nothing happening here. This is actually worse. This is not working out. And then suddenly it happens. Why? Because first the poison comes out. Something that you don't like comes out. You know, it's like when you're cleaning a drain. First all the gunk comes out. All the dark black gunk comes out. Then you see the clear water. That's what this particular thing is doing. When Jupiter goes into the ascendant, okay, and naturally Jupiter, as you know, is the 6th and 9th lord. So one's daily routine becomes very important part of you to get the best results from Jupiter. So 6th house with Sagittarius shows somehow in daily routine. Jupiter is going to try to make you do this. Now, whether you want to do it or not, that's up to you. That's your free will because it's in a movable sign. Movable sign give you the free will. Fixed signs will be like, this is it. This is what it is. Take it or leave it. So in daily routine, one must somehow learn something. I'm not telling you to learn philosophy or some religious textbook. Some learning needs to happen, or some teaching needs to take place. Either teaching or learning. In order to keep that 6th house busy. You don't want that sixth house to have no control and be like, okay, I guess I'm left. It's like Home Alone movie, right? I'm in charge now. No, you want to have that control and taking that essence of that sign, which is now becoming part of your life. So that's important. And Jupiter naturally in the ascendant will give you many, many opportunities to now become the guru, meaning become the person within the family in your household to be giving the right advice. Because advice will be sought with you. And especially if it's the third cycle of Jupiter, meaning Jupiter has gone three times and over, like 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Now you will see, suddenly you begin to give advice. Now, because you have known exactly how Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh works. That's the 3 cycle of Jupiter. First cycle shows you the creation. Oh my God, I'm discovering this. I'm my school, romance, love, a little bit of work. That's Brahma creating things. Then comes the sustenance part. Okay, now I gotta sustain this. I gotta keep my job, right? That's the second cycle. Third cycle is okay, whatever's not working out has to go. And now I gotta change myself. I gotta rejuvenate myself. So that Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva cycle is that 3 cycles of Jupiter. The fourth one onwards is when you have seen the creation, you have seen the preservation, you have seen the transformation. So now you know what to do. This is why you become wise after 36. Okay. At the same time, the double transit of Jupiter and Saturn will be upon the 9th house because Saturn is in the 9th house in Pisces. Jupiter aspect is on the 5th house and 7th house, right? So now, this is, again, I'm not saying this is going to be for every single Cancer ascendant, but this is one of those foundational opportunities for creating a life, meaning children. Or, for example, a Jupiter in the ascendant suddenly will get the spark of the idea, let me open up a school. So what happens when you have a school? You have students. What happens with students? They're like your children. There's going to be something created with that. You will come across knowledge of mantras during this Jupiter's transit. So now that is something that is new manifestation that is happening. While the blessings of the ancestors, which is automatic, is going to be upon the 9th house, and it's going to be like, hey, let's pay attention to your dharma. Dharma doesn't mean religion. Dharma doesn't even mean the lineage. Dharma simply means doing the right thing. Do the right thing, right? Like that movie of that director, I forgot his name, Spike Lee. So Jupiter is going to be like, hey, if you want to get the maximum blessings of the ancestors, do some good deeds. And it'll give you the opportunity because it is in the ascendant. Now, how can this opportunity will be blocked? Okay, if certain planets are objecting that with your transiting Jupiter or progressed Jupiter. You'll try, but you may not get it. You may not get the result you want. But the double transit is on the 9th house. Saturn is in the 9th house. Jupiter is looking at the 9th house. This is one of those significant positions for a person to actually find their guru. And doing penances. 9th house represents penances. And the other thing, especially this is the opportunity that Jupiter will give you in 2026 for Cancer ascendant people to have the opportunity to go to foreign lands, far away places. Especially if you have Ketu in the 9th house in Pisces. Now Saturn is going over it. Jupiter is going to be looking at it. This is one of those yogas that, yes, you will get a position because Ketu's job is to blow up whichever house that it's in your chart, right? It's Matsya Avatar. It's going to grow, 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 grow. Pisces is the original 12th house and it represents long distance. It's going to suddenly grow the opportunity with karma and dharma coming upon the 9th house. Okay, you can go. Many people, you will see, and I'm not talking about bachelor's degree, I'm not talking about master's degree. That we automatically know. You get good grades, you're going to graduate. But especially those who are doing PhD. Because PhD doesn't have a time set. You can get your PhD in 1 year, you can get your PhD in 7 years. This is a time period for Cancer Ascendant people who are running for postgrad education. This is a time period that is now triggering your ability to finish it. The Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga is aligning into the 9th house. And especially if they're over your Jupiter or Ketu, this is the time to finish. See the keyword I'm using, finish the dissertation and get your PhD. And Jupiter naturally will bless the 7th house, like it's blessed the 6th house of health, and that's one controls it. So here Jupiter is showing control or blessings over to the 7th house. But also the thing is this, with Jupiter in the ascendant, or when it transits the 7th house, do not become too religious, because a religious yogi cannot maintain the marriage. Jupiter in the ascendant, if it's in your birth chart, let me know how your marriage is. I don't care what your ascendant is. Or Jupiter in the 7th house. So here Jupiter in the ascendant is showing that forget about all those religious sects. Your drishti is now to be the guide for the spouse, to give blessings to the spouse, to maintain that image of a household. Householder responsibility are number one. Also, Saturn being in the 9th house. Okay, you will see right now, either one deals with issues or pains with the feet or thigh area. And especially you will see when Mars, either in your birth chart, looks at the 9th house, or if Mars is sitting in the 9th house, skin issues happen related to the thigh area. And especially dry feet. If you're in an educational field, right, you're learning, you're a student, always, like they have those cheese graters for dry feet you see, and you can rub it when you're taking a shower. Use that. You know what will happen? Once you clean those dry, if you're having that, okay, most will do, but if you're having that, or especially if you notice your father has dry feet, you're trying to get your PhD, give your father the cheese grater for the dry skin. They have it especially for that. Hey, use this. Because him using that, think about it, him using that activates your 9th house of blessings and bhagya and luck. And especially during this period, Saturn is going to maintain and help you budget. Maintain your gains, because 11th house is your monthly gains. And because the Taurus sign is in the 3rd, is going to say, hey, how about we focus on budgeting, focusing on our finances, focusing on how do we increase our income, decrease our expenses. And Saturn's 7th aspect is on the 3rd house, which means go get more knowledge. The more you learn, Saturn's going to produce that 3rd house of effort. And especially it says whatever you're now learning related to your work and career, well, now the public is going to get to find out the work, the things that you have learned. They're going to see what you have learned. You're going to be able to produce something to the people. This is also the period that responsibility over younger siblings will be there if you have younger siblings. Although for Cancer Ascendant, siblings naturally is either the obstacle or they're the enemy, right? But here Saturn saying for the entire 2026 and the first quarter of 2027, if they ask you for help, you better give them help. If they ask to talk to you to resolve something, you better do it. You better pick up that phone even if you haven't spoken to them in 6 years. Because Saturn is saying, if you correct these things, when I move into the next house in 2027, I know that what I was trying to tell you to do, you did. I don't care. Yes, you had a free will. But guess what? I have my will as well. You use your free will. But at the end, I'm the one who holds the staff. Okay. On the other hand, this is also the period Saturn helps you decrease your debts. And Saturn will also show, especially those people who are in middle-aged and all, obviously health of maternal aunts and uncles slows down. Their body slows down. Like if you visit your aunts and uncles, you will see they'll be much more slower. I want you to actually do this. If you live nearby, even go right now. If you haven't seen them in a while, go visit them, observe them. They will be moving much slower than what you saw them 2 years ago. They will feel like this lethargicness. It's like that old age that comes. Okay, and remember, Saturn is in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. For most of the year, even though it retrogrades back, okay, towards almost Purva. I think it does come towards Purva Bhadrapada. I don't think so though. It'll be just Uttara Bhadrapada. But see, Jupiter is in Pushya, Saturn is in Uttara Bhadrapada. This particular connection is a connection of abundance. Because Pushya is the emperor of the nakshatras, is the most giving. That's why symbolized by the cow's udder. Uttara Bhadrapada is known as a Lakshmi Nakshatra. So this particular two nakshatra connections is very beneficial. Especially, and you will see this manifest more when you're outside of your either comfort zone or outside of your home, living far away from home. And then we obviously see Rahu, Ketu in a second and eighth axis. Ketu in the second house is showing one important thing. First of all, do not become arrogant around your family members, mother, father, siblings, the people that you grew up with. Your aunts, uncles call you, be humble. Say, hey, how can I help you? What's going on? Not like, oh, look at me now. I am this and where are you? No. The other thing, and remember, Ketu is, what did I say Ketu is? Ketu is Matsya Avatar. Right? So that fish kept expanding. What is it going to do now to help you? It's trying to help your bank account to expand. But one of the things that you should not do, especially those who have big friendship circles, okay? You hang out, you guys are talking, everybody's talking about what they're doing, and I just made this much in the crypto market and this here. And yes, you're making money, you're investing, you're doing well. No need to tell. Wherever Ketu goes, keep those things a secret. Wherever you're investing, however your money is increasing, you got a promotion, keep it quiet. Because when Ketu is there, one feels like, I don't want to look small. Because remember, Ketu is shrinking, right? On one end, it's increasing. But your consciousness, it's trying to shrink as well. Microcosm and macrocosm. And then again, Rahu, Ketu are they're pretty much mirror images of each other. One also expands, one contracts. One expands, one contracts. So on one end, the fish is increasing. It's like, hey, I'm increasing bank account. And especially in the second house, spiritual practice. Spiritual practices, sadhanas, activates that. Giving money away. Donation, not like giving money away to buy something for yourself. Ketu is the monk. Ketu is like hair. Monk, actually, even the monk likes to give more than receive. The real true monk. If they have one bread that they received after 3 days, family is hungry, they'll give 75% of it so they can eat. And on the other hand, remember what I said about contracting. Here, Ketu says, no need to increase your expenses. I'm trying to help you increase your wealth, so don't increase expenses. Don't go out there, do this, do that, so you expand your increases. Or expand your expenses. On the other hand, Ketu, also in the second house, will make you very direct and straightforward. It's like Ketu just, it cannot hide its feelings, and that's what you have to control. Like, if you know this person, you don't like what they're saying. But if you corrected them and you come out as arrogant, that's not good. So you have to kind of control what you say. But usually you will see a Cancer person will either talk very little during this time, or when they talk, it's direct, straightforward, to the point, something that has a deep meaning. It's like these are the people who are in a conference room, everybody's talking, everybody's chattering, everybody's giving their opinion, and at the very end, this person will just say something. And that something becomes the root of the entire conference room. They're like, wow, we never looked at it that way. So the lesser you talk, the lesser you want to just talk about nonsensical things, the better the value of you increases. Because it's all about having a good value, especially in a corporate world. So if you want people to value you, do not talk too much. You're in sales. This is where you're going to have to learn the art of when to just be quiet and not say much. And while Ketu is in Magha Nakshatra and in the second house of family, especially during the Amavasya day, great to do Pitri Paksha Puja, taking vegetarian food to the temple and let the priest offer it to the ancestors. While Rahu is in the 8th house in Aquarius, and I just made the whole video for all you must have watched it. Rahu and Satabisha. I don't have to say much, but here 100 opportunities comes to you to learn things like occult, mysticism, hidden knowledge, something which is just sunky, awkward, eccentric. It's going to say, you know what, you're an atheist. I'm still going to make you somehow go into this particular thing. You're going to watch it. You're going to learn something for 5 minutes even. You're going to find 100 different solutions for your health. Some chronic health, some miraculous healing will come for some chronic health issue that you're dealing with. Because 8th house is that chronic health issue. And like I said, with Rahu in the 8th house, with Jupiter is a natural significator of the second house of family and gathering. A lot of gathering opportunities will happen towards the in-laws if you're married. Okay. Especially if you're married. If you're single, that's different. If you're single and you're just on your own, you will see. Suddenly you will meet a lot of people between now and June. Suddenly, however, usually you will see those people from medical field, like pharmaceutical medical field, or people who could be a bit of an addict. You'll come across those people. That's where you have to use your discernment. Okay. So, I don't know how long this was, but this was our Cancer for 2026. Remember, my marriage course is now active with the link below at Magha Vedic Astrology Academy, where you're going to learn a whole lot. And if you want any other consultation, my 2026 reading, you can go to the link here.